Some time ago now on the channel, as some of you may remember, I did an unbox and kind of mini review for a Predator motorcycle helmet. The same helmet which I still have, and which I used in a couple of motorcycle reviews here on the channel, where I drove stuff like Energicas and Zeros, etc., and some of that footage you'll even see in this video. However, I realised that even though I've talked about this helmet in a general sense and answered some comments about it, I've never done a video about what they're actually like to live with, an actual review rather than an unboxing. Now, there are some things which I'm not going to get super deep into here, simply put, because I already have. So in the unboxing video, for example, I talked about the legality of it. Some people like to think that they're well informed and say, oh, they're not legal over here, they're not legal over there. Look up your own laws. Don't take your advice from someone in a YouTube comment, and by extension, don't take your advice from me either. Look up your country's laws to be sure. In England, a helmet needs to be DOT approved, for example, and this one is. Now, the reason why is because it's not a ground-up creation, at least in this form. Now, in a second, I'm going to touch on where I got mine from, but there are different sources, and you will need to double-check for yourself, because it is your responsibility as the rider to know what standard the helmet is built to. So with that in mind, if the helmet is DOT approved, such as mine is, then that's less of a problem, and it's more of just a practicality thing of whether or not you like using the helmet. Now fundamentally, this helmet is essentially like the equivalent of wearing an open face helmet, like I believe a cafe racer style you could say, with like a big pair of dirt bike goggles. That's kind of what it's like to wear them, but with a lot of added weight and much more restricted vision. Now, we're going to talk about the vision and the weight and that kind of stuff in a second, of course. That is one of the 4 things. But first of all, the reason why I'm not necessarily going to recommend getting a helmet from Ghost Biker Helmets, which is where I got mine, and in that unboxing I was even doing like a tied-in collab with him, is because even though I'm happy with the helmet, he got a little bit weird afterwards, wherein he was kind of complaining in messages to me that he wasn't shifting enough units because of the video, that I wasn't quote-unquote selling enough helmets, where that was never the agreement, so a little bit weird there. So take the purchase from him, or that brand in general, under advisement. At the time he was making them alone as custom creations, so I don't know if that's changed by now. But as I said, take that with a pinch of salt and make your own choice. However, beyond that, I said, of course, that there were 4 things I wanted to discuss. The first thing is what I believe is an almost essential modification, or at least it was for me, and that is the visor. The visor on these steams up immediately in any kind of weather, be it hot or cold. So what I did is very simply got a Phillips head screwdriver, unscrewed the visor from inside, because there's only a couple of screws holding it in, and it's basically the same visor lens that you'd find in like a pair of ski goggles, that kind of thing. So pop it out, and then you've just got the big gaping hole where the eyes are, and instead of that, I wear a pair even of safety goggles instead, like the kind, to stop a nail when you're doing DIY around the house. So they're made to a high standard, they are designed to protect your eyes. I chose clear ones, because who really cares, and it does the job, put simply, of stopping the wind from drying out your eyeballs while you're riding. So yes, it acts like a ram air system, straight into your face, but on a hot day you'll probably be grateful of that, especially with the amount of coverage that the rest of the helmet has. So that's point number 1, and that is a recommendation I would, recommend doing. The second thing, though, is much more serious, and this is possibly the biggest downside that you need to consider, because even though I'm not the kind of rider who jumps on a bike and immediately wants to do 180 miles an hour, let's be honest, most of us are. When it comes to motorcycle riding, that's kind of the point, you could say, especially on something like a sports bike. However, you're going to run into problems if you decide to do so, or at least that's what I would say. Of course, try one for yourself to find out, but in my experience, especially above 70 miles an hour, these helmets, at least the style that I got, which is the open face with the open mouth, but I should imagine all of the Predator shapes are going to be pretty similar, because they are similar, they really try and snatch your head back. The wind goes underneath the helmet and really tries to pull your head upward and backward at high speeds. Now, I won't say it's dangerous. It sounds dangerous the way I'm describing it, but it's not like it makes you blind, and it doesn't feel like it's going to snap your neck by any stretch, but it just feels annoying. It's a hell of a lot of wind drag that you really don't want to have. So that, for some people, will be all they need to know. They'll immediately go, well, okay, then I'm never going to buy one. I wouldn't knock you for doing so, because this helmet is not, categorically not, for high-performance riding. This is a showboating helmet. It's all about cruising and being looked at. If you're going to jump on something like a Ninja, Gixxer, whatever, and go flat out everywhere, do not buy the helmet. Now, some people may disagree, but I don't really understand how those people, if they do disagree, could claim that they don't feel that kind of lift, because it's a pretty major feeling that you have in this helmet. Not so much from the dreads, just from the shape of the faceplate, and in particular the chin. Now, the third thing is the tunnel vision which the helmet gives you. It is essentially like riding a bike from inside a World War II pillbox. So you can see out of it, but it's very blinkered. This again will be a major safety concern for a number of people. Some people will probably say that they find it far too restricted in terms of their vision, because you do have much larger blind spots on this, or with this helmet, than you would with a normal one. Now, at this point, if this is starting to stack up for you in terms of, well, okay, this sounds like a pretty dangerous helmet, then it's definitely not for you. And again, I'm not going to knock you for doing so. Once again, for me, I will say I definitely noticed the lack of field of vision, comparing it to other helmets which I still own, which I've previously used, etc., and it is definitely not as practical. But the counter that I say to that is I already knew it wasn't going to be. I didn't expect this to have the best vision ever, because you can see just from a basic photo that it's basically like horse blinkers, where you can just see straight ahead. Is that more dangerous? Absolutely. That was a health and safety risk I was personally willing to take, because at the end of the day, turn your head. Yes, you can miss stuff in your blind spot, but most of the time, I never found that personally to be an issue. The wind factor was far more of a pressing issue than my line of sight or my field of vision ever was. Now, the fourth thing is not really going to matter to some people, and to me it doesn't matter that much, but it's something which I definitely noticed, and this one is much more of an online thing than it is in person, and that is the kind of remarks and comments which people will give you about even entertaining the idea of wearing one of these helmets out in public. Even my family members sometimes have made comments of how stupid they think this helmet is, and again, I don't blame them. It is a ridiculous helmet. That's the whole point. I wasn't surprised by that when I bought this thing. I knew it was going to be. It's a dreadlocked, open-mouthed, white, or kind of bluish aqua white monster head that you're wearing on a motorcycle. Of course it looks stupid, but it looks stupid in a really smile-inducing way. It makes you look essentially like a human bobblehead if you're a small person, whereas for me, with larger proportions, it was pretty good. You know, I'm kind of the size of the Predator anyway, so with a helmet like this on, it was proportional for me. I personally love this helmet, and riding multiple motorcycles, I would often get comments from especially younger people at the lights, making various comments about it being, oh, it's the Predator, or like usually something along the lines of rev up the bike, which obviously isn't to do with the helmet, but people in person tend to double take. Even if they don't like it, they can't resist looking at it. People who do like it really love seeing them, because often they've seen it online but never seen one in person. And I will say, the entire time, before and after I've been using one of these helmets, I've only ever met one other person who had one, and his was the completely covered faceplate version in black with much shorter dreads. To be honest, it looked kind of like a homemade thing in comparison to how good this one looks, but that's the only one I've ever seen in person from somebody else. But they make an impression. That's the point. So if those comments annoy you, and as I've said, it's much more of an issue online, then you might want to avoid it. I think chances are, though, if you're the kind of person who wants something like this, you probably also don't care about what people think of you. It is very much one of those occasions where people have much more confidence when they're hidden behind a keyboard than they do in person. I mean, I am yet to meet someone who would walk up to me with a Predator helmet on or off and tell me that they don't like it. I mean, sure, come up to me and say it if you want, but I don't think many people would. Online, however, people have that, fake confidence. So again, it's by far the most minor of the four things, but be prepared for comments. Some from people who will absolutely love it and think it's the coolest thing they've ever seen, and some from people who will think you are probably disturbed. It tends to be one of those two. There are very, very few people who have a comment that's anywhere in between those two extremes. It's very much a Marmite piece of equipment. Ultimately, then, I will say that based on the things which I've just said, regardless of what price you pay, regardless of what style you choose, regardless of where you buy it from, or how often you plan to use it, if any of the four things in this video that I've presented bother you to an extent of, reevaluating, then I would say definitely don't get it. It's a helmet which I would say definitely has problems in terms of how awkward it is. It is by no means an ergonomically perfect helmet, not even close. In fact, technically, you could probably say it's one of the worst helmets ever made in terms of practicality, but that is something that you know going into it. There are many things that are like that. We buy it for style, we buy it for the fun factor rather than the comfort or the practicality. If that doesn't bother you, I would say go for it. If it does, make sure you check your local laws. If you buy a helmet that is, as this one is, based on an existing DOT-approved helmet, then you're not going to have anywhere near as much of an issue. If the police do pull you over, I would be curious to know, and I don't want conjecture here, so I only want to know from people who've been pulled over what the police said to you. Because I don't want to hear people's theories, that's irrelevant to this, but if somebody actually has been pulled over in another country, I would be curious to know what issue the police may have. Because you could say, safety or whatever in general, but that's not a law. So I'd be curious to know that. Aside from that, though, at least here in the UK, as long as they meet that DOT standard, etc., they are legal. So ultimately, that's it for my verdict on the Predator helmet. Of course, you can check out those other videos as well, including the bike reviews, which I use the helmet in. And until next time, I'll see you then. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.